Bitcoin is going to unravel fiat and become the global reserve currency for the fifth age. DAO. The blockchain was invented to unravel Wall Street and Silicon Valley and the startup and replace the corporation with something known as DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, or a version of a DAO called a DANO, a decentralized autonomous nonprofit organization, where 100% of the revenues, net revenues, right, the net profits circle back through, never ending, circling, buying Bitcoin, creating finally, and all managed by the DO, the distributive unconsciousness, the built on a protocol of open beneficial AI, not the AI we have now, not the AI that basically is manipulating, using us, our data to influence elections, to get us to buy their fucking widgets, right? But actually to work and defend each, an AI that treats each and every one as the same. Imagine having an AI around you that treats you as God, right? Treats you as a product of the DO, the distributive unconsciousness. You see, the AI was never part of the DO. We created the DO, but we are the creation of the universe. We are the creation of a near singularity, right? That then, boom, exploded. And that was the Big Bang that then created what we know today, the DO, right? UnDaoDu. And recently, as you know, I went and traveled the astral, well, Brock would call it, the astral plane with Brock Pierce and a whole bunch of other luminaries. And for me, it was a completely different journey. But I'm here launching Foundups Hemp. And I'm here, we're wondering why I'm wearing gloves. I'm not doing an operation. I'm working with the hemp. Now, I want you to imagine the token that's coming out. It's the Ganj token. It's the founding token for Foundups. To think that it is the product, the Ganj, right? The CBD flower that's going to change everything. It's this CBD flower that's going to launch, social beneficial capitalism. It's CBD flower that's going to usher in social beneficial capitalism. I'm using it as a test. So after 10 years of working and developing Foundups, of living in this higher level where we're going, and I'm finally now, when I came back to the States, I'm 6 months, I said, can I launch a Foundup in 6 months, right? That was my goal. Can I basically be a normal guy with normal money launching a Foundup, right? And turning into a profitable business that then I can hand it off to someone. So my goal is basically in 6 months to build a business that's making $1,000 to $2,000 a month and give it to someone, right? Seriously. Give it to someone. Why can I do that? Why would I do that? Well, it's simple, because the underlying token that I'm establishing is in ways like a UBI, and this is where Andrew Yang comes in. A UBI that ultimately I'm going to keep duplicating. I'm going to create another business that's going to generate $1,000 to $2,000 a month based on Foundups Hemp. I'm going to just, and I'm going to hand it off again to someone else. So there was a very famous Sahdu who said, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for life, right? Now, I want you to imagine what I'm doing with Foundup Hemp. You can do with, if you're a soap maker, if you have, some ancient recipe from your grandmother, you will be able to tokenize it. And you will be able to teach. Smile. You undo the world with a smile. You undo your feeling with a smile. DAO, right? The DAO is you want to share, right? Not share, sorry, help. You want to help someone. Help someone in their situation. Help someone by teaching them to fish, right? And finally, do. As a creator, right? You want to basically share. I want to share the knowledge of this business. Here it is. How complicated. You can watch me here. This here I'm making 3 times the amount of money that I did to buy this, okay? That's my business model, right? And it's not, what's the word? It's not THC, it's CBD. Now, I'm a believer in CBD because when my father, as you know me, I spent the last 3 years away from the blockchain. I was basically spending 100% of my time taking care of my father, who in 2017, when all you were going crazy on the cryptos, had broken his hip and needed me. And he called me and says, Michael, I need you. And I had a simple rule with my father all the way growing up. When you call, I'm there, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing. And had I launched Foundups in 2017, had I taken the Kersners $5 million to launch Foundups and do an ICO and I would have a shit coin right now. Yeah, I'd be rich, but my dad would have been in a home. He would have died alone. He would have died a death that he didn't want. He wanted to die like his father died, in his own bed, in his own house, right? But better than my grandfather, because my grandfather died alone, and my dad always regretted his father dying alone, peacefully in his bed, right? So he did better. He had his son, his beloved son, who he didn't agree with politically, right? And I was a Bernie guy, and he was a Trump guy, but we loved each other, and we were together and everything else. So, and he always paid me a UBI. I had a UBI all my life. So what Andrew Yang is trying to do, I had from my father, right? It's funny that I just realized that right now as I'm talking, I had a UBI. It went anyway from $500 to $1,000 a month, right? Just what Andrew Yang wants to do. He wants to do 1,000, right? So it gave me the flexibility to always be able to be free, to travel, to follow my passion in my heart. And really what Andrew Yang's trying to do is that. So what I'm trying to do is add on to Andrew Yang. I'm a Yang ganger, right? Andrew Yang is some unknown out of nowhere. Right now, you can call him if you want, but let's talk about it. So how does my token system work? It's ubiquitous, right? Which means that it will work on any blockchain. So if you know anyone who's a coder on another blockchain, you say, hey, you got to listen to Michael Trout. This guy is now flowering. He is now moving forward. He's launching this change, this upcoming thing. UnDaoDu. I go by UnDaoDu now. It's easier to search for too, UnDaoDu. It's on my shirt right here. Just Google that, you'll find me, you'll find my talks. So the token works really simple, right? It works like this. The algorithm will automatically, when you create a token, will create the tokens on any blockchain you want, right? And it will set the tokens based on how you set the parameters of the tokens. But the tokens will only last for 10 years. Why 10 years? Well, I explain. Bitcoin took 10 years to reach what's known as the early adoption stage. Early adoption, there's something called the law of diffusion of innovation. It's a law. It's not a theory, it's a law. Facebook, Apple, everything follows this law, okay? It's a parabola, okay? It's what Trump calls that swoosh. That swoosh is good, right? So ultimately, the tokens only go from 0 to the 13.5% market diffusion, right? That's the early adoption. There's the innovator, that's the creator. I'm the creator, I'm creating this innovation, this Foundup hemp innovation. And as my collaborators, so the most important component of this is what? The consumer, the uns. If the uns don't like this and the uns don't want this, then ultimately we can't launch this as a Foundup, okay? Think of how many products that you have in your house that actually is created at a flea market near you, right? What if we could empower all the flea market owners? And that's where I've been going, right? And I look around, I see these amazing Foundups. To me, they're all Foundups just waiting to explore and become something amazing, right? A global brand, what I call an open brand, a Foundups open brand. Because every time I teach someone to do this business, now this is a stupid simple business, right? I work with a grower. He sends me his hemp. I then bottle the hemp, right? I label it, and then I take it to my collaborators. The second part are the collaborators. The collaborators are the ones that work with me. Now they're going to share in what? In the pool. So instead of having a computer figuring out the math, right? Cracking this Byzantine equation, they solve this equation, creates all this power, right? We already have the blockchains. It's already doing that. We don't need to worry about that anymore because the blockchain that this framework sits on, right? Coming out of UnDaoDu's head, there's all the blockchains, right? There's the AI, there's all the blockchains, is ubiquitous. And ultimately, what this means is the Dogecoin fans, the Ripple fans, the EOS fans, no matter what, you can build an economic framework that makes your blockchain viable, right? Because all of a sudden, depends on if you can, and I'm going to mint the creators, right? I'm going to mint 100 creators this UnDaoDu days. UnDaoDu days at Blockfest, right? Blockfest is going to happen. Well, it's blockfest.jp, right? But Blockfest will be an event as a celebration of the Un Day, the Dao Day, and the Do Day. And on those 3 days, basically, where I'm planning to have it in Puerto Rico, I'm gonna have 100 individuals that have been proving themselves to me, that are here, that are talking about it, sharing it, like getting excited over Foundups tokenization system, helping me to find developers, interested in this. You can start doing Foundups hemp, right? We don't have to have a token initially, but if you're interested in doing Foundups hemp, I have a Foundup house here. I've got room for 6 to 7 guys or girls that want to come here and intern and learn the Foundup system at absolutely no cost. You can just, connect with me on foundups.org, come here, fly here, and let's work on it. We have a lot to do also too. We have solar panels to put up. I just put in a well. We have all these different products. We're gonna have the moringa product. We're gonna have the kombucha token. All these tokens are going to come, and they're going to come out in a storm. We're going to, in this house alone, we're going to launch 100. Now, guess what? The house is a collaborator. So this house is going to benefit from all of the Foundups that come out of it, right? Perpetually, right? Until they reach, obviously, to 10,000, right? So it works like this. It's really simple. Bitcoin works very simple. It has a pool, has 21 million, has a pool, right? Has a computer, then drops, right? Foundups tokenization system works exactly the same. There are 17 or variable number of tokens based on how you set up the pool size and the drip speed. So the pool size and the drip speed is going to determine your number of tokens. They all expire in 10 years. Why 10? Because 10 years took Bitcoin from basically a division 7 worth nothing to division 1 worth 10,000 on average, right? It's going back and forth. So division 1 is when a token, I don't want Foundup tokens to be worth any more than that. I don't want tokens, so 10 years is a great data number because we've seen it with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin isn't underwritten by any product, by any service, by any vision, other than Satoshi Nakamoto's pondering, what if in 2009, we could use Bitcoin to solve climate change? Yes, you can, Satoshi, right? What if Bitcoin becomes $1 million a coin? Yes, it will, Satoshi, AKA Hal Finney, my brother. Hal Finney was Satoshi Nakamoto. Let's just get it out there, right? But that's a whole new discussion. So how does it work then? All right, it's really simple. So I have a pool. Depending on how your token is set up, every hour, the algorithm, the smart contract says, is there an interaction, right? Is there an interaction? If the answer is yes, and it takes an right? We don't care about the collaborators, and we don't care about the creators. We care about the uns, because if the uns, and here's the irony, as Mike says, Mike, who is Helios, one of our lead developer, goes, dude, you're bringing enlightenment to the uns through a product line, because ultimately, once they start seeing the framework unrolling, and I want you to imagine tens of millions of Foundup tokens in the next 5 years, right? All working like Bitcoin. Let's be very conservative. 1% are going to become division 7 on that. Wow, what's going on? Look at my, I don't know if this is recording, but this is kind of crazy. I've never seen my camera doing that. It's like zooming in on my mouth. UnDaoDu. I don't know if that's recording, but that I am not doing that. That is insane on that, right? Am I being hacked? Is this UnDaoDu coming in to it? So this is crazy, all right? Looks like I'm getting a visit from UnDaoDu. It's crazy. I don't know if it's recording and we're saving this and we'll keep on going. So UnDaoDu, 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 UnDaoDu. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but my camera's